Oh, he's legit.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
So guys, we will be talking about Johnny Davis because I saw an article recently that said that The Athletic had the Spurs take him at the 7th, and we definitely have to talk about it. But before we do, look, if you guys want to support the channel, I will be doing the trivia prize tonight. As you can see, this is what we'll be giving away, or at least the trivia winner will get it. It's not really a giveaway, but I will send out a link to Patreon and YouTube members tonight prior to the 7 o'clock Central time in which we're going to do the trivia. So it should be pretty fun. We're going to go live. I know it's in the middle of a game, but who cares, dude? Trivia is much more fun. So that's what we're going to do. So if you guys want to support the channel, become Patreon YouTube members. That's a good way for me to give back to you guys. But also, if you want to support in a different way, look, subscribe, like, but most importantly, join the Discord, because in the Discord, you can actually give me suggestions for things. I have so many different channels on there that we can talk about so many different things. So join that, get it popping. It should be pretty fun. I can't believe I just said get it popping. Is this 2003? All right, so let's talk about this. Woo! Johnny Davis. I absolutely love his game. Now, I know the elephant in the room, okay? Elephant in the room is why in the heck would the San Antonio Spurs pick a 6'5" guard at the 7th overall pick when you can get a big man? And I completely understand where you're coming from, because that was my initial reaction. I was like, there's no way we would take a guard in this upcoming draft. Like, there's no way. There's nothing. It makes sense. It makes sense, because after watching this guy play, I have to say, usually these mock drafts, I just kind of roll my eyes at them. But this one, I can see it, because this guy, honestly, and I really do mean this, honestly, he is very, very fundamentally sound. So let's go through his stats first and foremost, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts on him. So points, 20.6, that is really good, and there's some history behind that we'll go over. 1.2 steals, 0.7 blocks, 2.4 assists, 8.3 rebounds, which is pretty doggone good at his height. Percentage rise, it's okay, 45% and 33% from 3. So overall, you can see, even statistic wise, he is a solid player. Now, there is something in particular that I really like about him. And what I really like about this dude, and I'm sorry about this, I didn't put this on your future Nick. I guess the Knicks want him. One thing that I really like about him is so much patience. He does not shoot too quickly. He makes sure that he gets to his spot. He really does remind me of some of the greats, as of Kobe Bryant or DeMar DeRozan when it comes to the mid-range. I'm not saying he's going to be Kobe, okay? I'm not saying that, okay? Calm down. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is he's very similar in that he doesn't shoot too fast. He makes sure he's at his spot, and when he's at his spot and he has just enough space, he will let it and launch it on you. And I really like that. He also has kind of an attitude to him. He's not arrogant, okay, but he's very confident, and I really love that about him. I've saw some of his interviews, and he holds himself very well. He always puts his teammates first when he's talking, even if talking about himself. Very similar to Josh Primo in that regard, but overall, like, I like his personality. So Spurs culture-wise, does he fit? Yeah, he will be fine. I don't see anything of his character that's, a red flag or anything like that. This is in mid-game, and you're gonna talk some stuff, and we got a kind of a different team now. DeJounte Murray talks stuff. Like, it's a little different, all right? But I like that. I love that. So overall, one thing that I also want to mention, actually, I don't want to just give you an overall, is this. So this was very interesting to me. So let's read here. The Badger sophomore guard has arguably seen his draft stock skyrocket more than any player in the nation, and is all but certain to declare for the NBA draft at the conclusion of the season, of course. If he's able to maintain his current scoring pace, the All-American guard will be the first Badger player to average 20+ points per game since Michael Finley did back in 1994. He's a saving grace. He is a saving grace for his college. That's pretty cool. I don't know. I just wanted to mention that. That's the history behind that 20 points. But overall, look, I really dig this player, and I looked up his pros and cons, and this is what they're saying about him. I don't 100% agree with all of it. I'll be honest. Maybe this needs an update. It got updated about a month and a few weeks ago, so I think it needs another update, but let's go ahead and read here. I'll say what I agree and disagree with. So solid shooter, of course, solid scorer off the dribble, excels at scoring on off-ball motion plays, can post up smaller defenders, solid playmaker, moves fairly well on the ball on offense, very good rebounder for his size. Hey, we said that. Solid defender, solid athlete. I agree with all of that. There's also one more thing that I want to mention. I'm going to add to it. But cons, can struggle to score in traffic. I have not seen this. Now, this might have been before January. I'm not sure. I haven't seen it. I've seen him be able to finish in traffic fairly well, but look, I could be wrong there. May struggle to guard quicker players. I do agree with that one. As I said, he's very patient offensively. He's not super fast, but he is quick. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit. But yeah, he might have a difficult time with that. Because as I said, even though he's 6'5", if you watch him, he looks bigger than he actually is. And I think it's maybe his frame, or maybe it's just the way that he approaches the game where he has quite a bit of strength. Now, this is where I kind of disagree, because I feel like maybe every player needs to add some strength, but I feel like he has pretty decent strength. So when they said needs to add strength, I don't know about that. May not be an elite athlete. Absolutely. He is not very athletic from what I'm seeing. Okay. Not a high flyer by any means. He's more of a pick my, spot, post you up, nice little fader. All right, that's what he does. Relatively late bloomer, and sure, I guess. But overall, one thing I will want to add here with the pros that I've noticed from Johnny is that he is really good with that first dribble. Like, his initial first dribble is very quick. Now, as far as how fast he is, like his speed, I don't think he's that fast, but he's very quick with the first step for some reason. He's really good at getting that ball ahead of him and catching up to it. And it is so smooth. Like, he doesn't, I said this before, but he doesn't force anything. At least from what I've seen, it is just such a silky smooth game. And one thing that I like about him the most, actually, this is what I like about him the most, is that he has a signature move. And a lot of players, especially young players, they're good at quite a few things, but I typically don't see a lot of signature moves that are pro level, like signature moves that are like, oh no, this is what I do, and you're not stopping it. You could definitely tell that he has some inspiration from some of the very good mid-range shooters, because I'm not lying when I say this, he reminded me of Kobe when it comes to, I'm gonna pick my spot, I'm going to create the space that I want. And if you give me an inch, I'm shooting over the top of you. And I saw that over and over, all of the highlights that I watched of him. I was like, this guy is legit. Now, here's the thing. Now, the question is, why would the Spurs take him when he's being, when he's a guard? Like, don't you need a big man? Don't you need? And I will say this. Yes, most definitely, we need a big man. But with that being said, there are some options if you don't want to get it in the draft, or if you want to get it later in the draft. I don't know where Johnny Davis is going to land. His stock is getting higher and higher, but if he was available and he was the best player available, I would take him, because there's other options at the big man spot. You can go after DeAndre Ayton. You can go after Mitchell Robinson. You can even, try to just take a late first rounder if you want. There's quite a few decent big men in this draft, but overall, I would love us to get this guy. Now, there's so many other people we got to look at, and I'm sure more people are going to come up, and I'm going to be like, oh no, I want this guy. No, I want this guy's better. I don't know. How about this guy? But overall, what I saw from him, usually when I get these suggestions or I get people to look at, there's a lot of negative, or at least enough negative things about their game where I can kind of point it out and say, I don't know if we need it. Like Jalen Duren, when I did the video on that, I wasn't 100% sold on it. But this guy, no. This is the type of guy you want. High IQ, loves to pick his spots, very patient. And if you go and watch highlights of him, you might say that he's underwhelming, or you might say that he's not, super fun to watch. But his fundamentals are so solid, and he's just creative enough where I could see him having that room or that ceiling of becoming a star in this league. I really, really dig this guy, and I was sold on him the more and more I looked into him. But overall, I really want to know what you guys think. I think stats don't lie, but like I said, I understand people not wanting him being a guard and all. I get it. But you guys let me know what you think in the comments. I'm sold, y'all. I'm sold. But don't forget, doing trivia tonight should be fun. But don't worry, if you don't do it tonight, like I do it every month, okay? We do it the last Friday of every month. So if you want to just support the channel and, you know, get that link, you can do that. Or if you want to just support out of the kindness of your heart, I really appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, you're doing it right now? You're so sweet. All right, I'll give it to you guys later, man. Until next time.